October 31st, 2002, in the city of New Orleans, Louisiana, my son, Derrick L.Williams, known to many as Lil Derrick, B.G. Derrick, Temple Derrick, Bulletproof, was gunned down on the streets of New Orleans, Halloween, October the 31st, 2002, and this Halloween, tomorrow, will be 19 years that my son has been deceased. And I am making this video as a tribute to my son of his life and death in New Orleans.
For people who don't know, I'm the brother of Lil Derrick, original hot boy, uptown legend. A lot of women go through losing children and shit nowadays and shit like that. But then like my brother and my mama was really close. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, if you see pictures of them, they look just alike. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was really close like that. She see my brother in me and shit, like, you know what I'm saying?
This was Mighty Lee, Halloween night when his brother got murdered. And he actually had a bullet in that same hand when he got killed. My son, from then on, at 7 years old, never in his life went trick-or-treating another day in his life.
Police worked to figure out who shot a local rapper in the city.
A popular rapper was shot and killed overnight.
Investigators say someone fired a number of shots.
It's a local rapper who was just starting to make a serious mark on the music industry.
When my child laid out there dead, nobody cared about his life, because all you gotta do is get a record against you and the police. And you just another black man laying out there dead, You ain't trying to really find out what happened to him. He's just a cold case today. But in my heart, it's still a hole in my heart. It's gonna always be there because that's my child. I love him to death,
So they hadn't found any motives or anything?
No, and you never really tried to. What's up, YouTube? This Miss Dorothy, the mother of B.G. Derrick, number 2 stunner, Lil Derrick, Temple, Uptown for life. It's 19 years coming up that on Halloween would be his death, so in honor of his death, I'm doing a tribute.
How we doing, everyone? This is a special shout out to Lil Derrick and his mom, Dorothy Harris. I just want to let you all know I'm in full support of the home team. I love her. I love her son music. I spent 25 years in prison for murder, so you should know I needed aggressive music to help me get through it. And his music definitely came through at a time when I really needed that, when I really needed that push. So in all honor and salute, I want you all to know that this is not easy. It's not an easy road, but he made it. His mom there to support him, 100%. Dorothy Harris, the queen, be there to support him on whatever front. It's real, recognize real. Dorothy, one love.
It's a shout out to my little nephew, Derrick, a true legendary artist. Beef ain't never squash. It die down sometime. Holla back.
You know one thing, we all love Derrick, man. We all grew up together. That's my boy, man. We miss him. I remember he got his first feature on Juvenile album. I remember him running up the street with the CD in his hand talking about, man, look, y'all gotta hear this here, man. We miss you, D, boy. We miss you, boy. All your energy, your goofy ways. I remember us hitching rides, bro, to Fauché basketball games and Fauché dances, cause you was tweaking the goal. And I'm like, man, I ain't got no tennis, man. You gonna wear a pair of my tennis, you gonna wear my jacket. Yeah, he was that type of person, bro. That nigga get your shirt off his back, man. B.G. Derrick, but I knew him since he was just Derrick, Lil Derrick, Bulletproof.
I'm sitting there thinking about my dog, Lil Derrick. Thinking about Derrick, you still undisputed. Shout out to Bulletproof. It's inevitable that Derrick was gonna be a star. You know what I'm saying? But jealousy only kills the body. My dog still living, still stunting. You know what I'm saying? Even though he in Abraham's bosom right now, you're dead. So shout out to his mama, his brother. You know what I'm saying? Sweet is all love. You hear me, Miss Dorothy? So, I love him, man. Derrick living through us. Derrick living through his music. You know what I'm saying? It's still undisputed. You know what I'm saying? I love my dog.
I had several run-ins with Derrick, just on some everyday neighborhood type stuff, just growing up. In the hood, we used to all go swimming at Lion Center together. And that was like the very first time we actually had a encounter with each other. I can remember he was hanging with another one of my partners out the hood, Naughty. Shout out to Naughty.
Shout out, Naughty. I love you too, Naughty.
Yeah, and we was all at Lion Center one day, and he really didn't know me, but he knew me from seeing my face around the neighborhood. And Derrick was the type of person that, you know, he really liked to know the people that was around him, and he'll try to fill you out, but at the same time, all the time he wouldn't come at you directly. He'll get somebody else to come at you to see what you about. More like an instigating type person. You know, he was just like that. You know,
like, you know, I hear a lot about him being a bully, so that's would that you know, be required of that? Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a bully. He was just the type of person that wanted to know the type of people that he was around. The very first encounter I had with Derrick was when he was massing with the Indians. That was the very first time I actually seen him, but I didn't know him at this time.
I met Derrick through Masking Indian. He was our flag of the nation, whole wide creation on there, don't know how. We and he made that fire that morning. So that's how we met doing that Indian in the early 90s with Crow Wild West. And as years went on, you know, the relationship, of course, it just was through Indian, masking only. And after so long, for his high school, I used to see him around sometime. And every time people would see him, they would call him the Money Man. That's all I know. That's how people started calling him, and it was call him the number 2 stunner. I don't know him. All I know him is Flag that morning, Real Wild West. But as far as the streets, I know people used to call him the Money Man. It would be funny to see people always come back to school sometimes telling stories how they was in the club and stuff, and he'd be throwing money. You called him the Money Man. He said, you call him Money Man, he threw the money. And it just was stories people would come back to school telling. That's when I was like in the 10th and 11th grade.
Listen. If y'all don't know about Lil Derrick, y'all don't know about nobody, you know what I'm saying? That was dude right there. I'm talking about when we was back in elementary coming up, we was like, is mom on the phone, you hear me? Yeah, that's how we rock, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, his daddy. That was like one of the reasons why I wanted to get into the Indian world.
We met each other through Masking Indian in the Creole Wild West. You know, with his daddy Yam and my daddy, and they was real tight, real close throughout the tribe. So that's how me and him got close. But like, just to give you a little history about how we really got jammed. I remember like my first year masking, that was like in 1989. And I was like 5 years old, and we was across the river, and we was in a Super Sunday parade across the river, and Derrick didn't mask, but Yam masked, and he was out there with him, and I had my suit on, and I was meeting some dudes across the river, and they had a guy, he was like a little older than me, you know, he was like trying to play rough with me, you know, like trying to play Indian rough with me. I'm 5 years old, it's my first time out there, so I really didn't know what I was doing or whatever. And we playing Indian or whatever, and the dude like shoved me. He like pushed me, he took his shotgun and he pushed me back, like, you know. So, you know, I'm a child, but he had to be like almost close to a teenager, probably like, I'm gonna say he had to be about 12 or 13 or whatever, the guy. And I'll never forget, Derrick just came out of nowhere and he just whopped him. And he just went to whooping him out there. Like, he ain't had no suit on. The guy had his suit on, but Derrick didn't have no suit on. He went to whooping him when he pushed me, and Derrick just took it upon himself and got on him, you know. And after that incident, that's like how we really got close, like, cause he like took me up in his wing, like, you know. I was like, cause I'm a little younger than him.
What's up, world? It's Terry. I want to give a shout out and a tribute to my brother Derrick, the #1 stunner. On his Halloween tribute. I got a story where we was about maybe 15. We went to a restaurant uptown called Commander's Palace. Neither one of us had no money, but we went in there, you know, we was shy. So
They gave us our table. So Derrick started talking to one waitress, and before I know it, we got a bunch of food without even looking at the menu. So he started talking to another waitress. We got buku more food. So what wound up happening was, we ate the food and he got up, kissed one waitress, slapped the other waitress on her behind, and we walked out there like nothing happened, full as a tick. And I want to say, Derrick, I miss you, man. I love you. And I know you still here in the spirits with us, man. And I'm going to see you later.
This is my son Terry, been around a long time. Stayed many nights at my house, and he came all the way from the city just to do this interview and to bring me my original CD, Lil Derrick, Undisputed Knockout Artist, the only one, often imitated,
never duplicated.
But never duplicated. And I want to shout out Chef Payne Catering, where I'm making this video, where you can get some of the greatest food on Government Street. I tell you, you need to give her a try.
What I can say about BG Derrick is that the time that we dated, he was definitely a hustler. I'm going to say that. He was definitely a hustler. You definitely can't take that from him. He was a hustler. He was a hustler. He was a gambler. And with that being said, he definitely was a player. But besides all of that, he still was a good guy. He was a very good guy. Just don't cross him, because he did not play at all. Beef, Ain't Neva Squash, but it died down sometimes. He didn't play. But like I said, Derrick was a real good person. He would give you the shirt off his back. I didn't been in a car with him where he just didn't give people, just threw money out the window. We didn't pull down side of homeless people, and he just gave them like $50 to $100, like nothing.
I heard his music. I love his mama. It's the best music. If he was here, yeah, it'd have been up and popping, but he gone. That's okay, because he got a brother that's coming right behind him. It was 2018. I moved in the Palms Apartments, and I don't know, it's just we came family.
So look, I met my boy named Bullet. We was over there by Wing Shack, on Orleans and Claiborne. I forget the name of it. And I'm from downtown Cross Canal. And so, you know, back in them times, we get to it in like a ward fight or whatever, you know. If you from a different ward, you'll fight. If you from uptown, you automatically fight with downtown, vice versa. So I'm up there at the Wing Shack, and I got into a fight with a couple of dudes from downtown, uptown. And so I'm, you know, doing my little thing or whatever. And one of them went, and I was getting the best of him. So one of them went and got a little pistol from him. And when he come back with the pistol, he had it in his hand and was pointing it at me. And then Bullet came. He was like, "No, man, y'all not about to do this dude like that, man. Y'all square up, y'all do a head up one-on-one with him." And they were like, "Man, you know him," but he didn't know me. He was like, "Nah, but I ain't about to let y'all fuck over him." He was like, "Man, fuck that. We about to do something." So I'm out there shaking, like, because I'm thinking I'm about to be gone. Bullet went back, and, you know, yeah, I got his little thing and came back and cleared them all out for me. And since then, you know, I had a respect and a love for Bullet, you know. And then we did boot camp together. I think that was in 2000, 2001 in CCC. That's the old HOD building. And me and him got real cool. And we talked about, we had a lot of stories to tell. And he had a lot of stories to tell. Everybody loved him, man.
Greetings, peace and love. My name is Lakita Smith, and I'm just gonna be sharing a few heart-to-heart moments of when I first met Derrick. It was many years ago, a few years before his transition, through a young lady that I was actually hanging with named Shamad. And her and Derrick was actually dating. And so this is a real story. This is funny. So she was so excited. She was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm dating him. You know, we dating. We all in public." So we went out one night and we got dressed in New Orleans East. We both from the East, you know, and I'll always coin that I'm the East Beast. And so we met Derrick uptown and we picked him up, and he got in the car, and I was looking like, you gotta be joking, right? He was so mean to her, and you know, that's just who I am. You know, I've always been like the grandma of our little tribe, you know, especially, you know, that young. And so I straight up, you know, I went at him. I'm like, "D, like, hold on, like, you can't be talking to my girl like that." And what I once saw, something else was revealed. I was able to really see and capture who he was as a person. And that was a beautiful moment because he instantly took to me and we gravitated to each other, you know, and what happened between him and Shamard had nothing to do with what happened with me and him. You know, we became good friends and we always had mutual respect for each other. But that car ride was funny as hell, and I would definitely tell you that I called him out. You know, I was like, hey, you know, and it wasn't no disrespect, but it was coming from a real place because I feel like so many times where you have young men, especially young kings, you know, very gifted, young, gifted, and black, as Derrick was, you know, and still is because, you know, in my opinion, he's still untouchable. You know, he is a national legend. And he knew it. So he was a little cocky, but I'm cocky too. So, you know, it was just, yeah, the meeting and the clashing of the titans, right? So we had this conversation, y'all. And the conversation went like, you know, hey, you know, what's up with you? You know, you have this attitude like you're gonna be hanging with us, like we can't have that. And he looked at me and his eyes and that smile and those teeth. And I knew then I had a friend for life. I had a rider for life, a hitter for life, because he just smiled because he knew that it was coming from a real place. It was real truth in it. And so it wasn't coming from a place of judgment, but accountability for, you know, who you're going to be hanging with. Like, can we do this? We're going to do this the right way if we're going to rock and roll. And to this day, you know, I think about his legacy and his life and the funny moments that we had in the club and just always love. It was always love, you know, with Derrick. And that smile that will capture anybody. You know, if it was a no, it was always a yes. And that personality, like we used to people watch. We would laugh and talk about everybody. Like we ribbed. And I think that was one of the greatest moments to actually see him smile. You know, the world may have seen or viewed him in a different aspect, in a different light. But behind that true gangster, it was a heart of gold. And he believed in family and he believed in loyalty. And one thing about it, if he rocked and rolled with you, you best to believe that you were secured and you were protected and you had his loyalty. And so as we remember him, as we talk about, you know, his music and his legacy, to this day, BG Derrick is unmatched. To this day, I don't know anybody that can actually top him just off the dome, you know, to be so talented, to be so young and so ambitious. I think often about my friend and what his life could have been at this time. And just knowing that he would have been, you know, a chart topper on a music scene. Definitely, you know, this young man was really, 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 really going somewhere. And at the end of the day, you know, when we think about legacies and angels and people that are no longer of this earth, we know one thing: BG Derrick is definitely a legend, and he will forever, forever be one of the top dogs of this nation in the rap game, and also forever in our hearts. We love and miss you so dearly. My boy, I know you're smiling. And all I can say is keep watching over us, keep protecting us. And I'm just so glad to still be connected and reconnected to your mother and your family. And we are one tribe, and I got her on this side. You best to believe that. I'm going to ride for Dorothy. So with love and light, you guys take care.
This is something from the heart to Dorothy, sweet to me, to her son, Derrick, to rest in peace, to a beautiful woman that had a loving son that's in heaven with the angels. God bless his mother and God rest his soul.
BG Derrick Williams, my little brother. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I'm so hurt he's gone. He was a good dude, no matter what nobody said. He was just like all the rest of us, lost, young, trying to find his way. Just like so many died in the street.
This is Dorothy Harris, the mother of Derrick L.Williams, better known to many as BG Derrick, Temple Derrick, Lil Derrick, Slim, Bulletproof, and many more names. I want to thank each and every one who participated in my tribute to my son's life and death in New Orleans. 19 years ago, he was murdered on the streets of New Orleans. I want to thank you all for your participation. It means a great deal to me. I love you all. You're the greatest. And a special thanks out to Video Wayne. I couldn't have done this without him because my walls was closing in on me. This month has been a trying month for me, but I give thanks to him for what he done. Thank you.